top 10 cities in Europe with the highest demand for English language teachers. While many people wanting to teach English abroad move to countries in Asia or Latin America, Europe is also a popular destination that cannot be ignored. Despite stricter visa regulations and tougher job markets for teachers, there are still many places in all parts of Europe that have a need for foreign teachers. Here are the top 10 cities in Europe with the highest demand for English language teachers. Madrid, El Foro, the Forum of Spain. Spain is one of the most attractive countries for teaching English abroad in Europe. The country's capital, Madrid, has the largest job market for EFL teachers in Spain. While citizens from non-EU countries may find it difficult to secure a work visa in Spain, many teachers are able to obtain a student visa, which allows them to work up to 20 hours per week. Madrid is a city of elegant boulevards and lush big parks, such as the Parque del Buen Retiro. The city is also renowned for its art galleries and museums, which are filled with European art, such as the famous El Prado Museum. The Royal Palace of Madrid from the 18th century is another of Madrid's cultural gems. Get started by taking an in-class TEFL certification course in Spain and learn more about living and teaching in Spain in our country guide. Prague, the city of 100 spires. Another hotspot for EFL teachers in Europe is the Czech Republic. Prague, the capital of the country, offers the most opportunities for teachers. Unlike many other countries in Europe, the Czech Republic doesn't make it particularly difficult for non-EU citizens to obtain a work permit. Prague is a beautiful city divided by the river Vltava. The old town square is the historic heart of the city, featuring Baroque buildings, Gothic churches, and the world-famous astronomical clock from the Middle Ages. Get started by taking an in-class TEFL certification course in Prague and learn more about living and teaching in the Czech Republic in our country guide. Rome, the Eternal City. This list would not be complete without the Eternal City. Rome is one of the most visited cities in the entire world, and it also has a strong demand for qualified English teachers. And despite what you might have heard, it isn't too hard to obtain a visa to legally teach English in Italy. The city is filled with art, architecture, and cultural sites dating back nearly 3,000 years. The Forum and the Colosseum are two of the most interesting attractions from the former Roman Empire, while the Vatican City, with St. Peter's Basilica and the Vatican Museums, houses some of the finest masterpieces from Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Get started by taking an in-class TEFL certification course in Rome and learn more about living and teaching in Italy in our country guide. London, the Royal City. Despite being an English-speaking country, there is still a high demand for EFL teachers in England, especially in London. With a high number of summer camp students and immigrants needing to learn English, there are a variety of job opportunities for English teachers in the country's capital. The history of London dates back to Roman times, offering countless historic and cultural attractions. The Houses of Parliament, the iconic Big Ben, and Westminster Abbey make up the heart of the city. Other famous attractions include the Thames River, the London Eye, and Buckingham Palace. Learn more about living and teaching in the UK in our country guide. Paris, the City of Love. The City of Love, Art and Fashion is one of the top destinations in Europe for travelers and those seeking EFL employment. Teachers from other EU countries will not have a hard time securing a legal work permit in France. However, non-EU citizens may need an alternative, such as a student visa, which allows you to work a certain amount of hours a week. Another option is the Teaching Assistant Program in France, short TEPIF, which is a government initiative that places applicants into French state schools to work as teaching assistants. As a center for art, fashion, gastronomy, and culture, Paris is one of the most exciting and vibrant cities in Europe. The city's most important attractions include the Eiffel Tower, the Gothic Notre Dame Cathedral, and the Louvre, the world's largest art museum. Get started by taking an in-class TEFL certification course in Paris and learn more about living and teaching in France in our country guide. Lisbon, City with a Future. Even though the EFL job market in Portugal isn't as big as in Spain, Italy, or the Czech Republic, there are still lucrative opportunities for TEFL certified teachers in Portugal, especially in the capital city Lisbon. Lisbon is a beautiful coastal city with a hilly landscape and exciting historic and cultural sites, like the São Jorge Castle and the National Azulejo Museum. Learn more about living and teaching in Portugal in our country guide. Budapest, the Pearl of the Danube. Similar to the Czech Republic, Hungary is also an affordable destination for teachers to live and work in. Teachers can earn a comfortable salary, but you will need to be TEFL certified to be able to find a good teaching job in Hungary. Most jobs can be found in Budapest, the country's capital, and many teachers work under the Central European Teaching Program for teaching English in Hungary. The beautiful river Danube is all that separates the hilly Buda district from the flat Pest district, which together create the city of Budapest. Some of the city's most famous attractions include Castle Hill, Buda's Old Town, the 13th century Matthias Church, and the Fisherman's Bastion. Learn more about living and teaching in Hungary in our country guide. Athens, the city of the Violet Crown. Even though the economy in Greece has seen better times, opportunities for qualified teachers are still very rosy. As tourism is a large part of the economy in Greece, teachers will find positions at private language academies teaching adults working in the tourism and hospitality fields. Teacher salaries in Greece also allow for a comfortable lifestyle. The city of Athens has a long history, boasting landmarks from the 5th century BC, including the Acropolis and the Parthenon, two of the city's most famous tourist attractions. Besides cultural attractions, the city also has a great nightlife, with thousands of restaurants and bars to choose from. Get started by taking an in-class TEFL certification course in Athens and learn more about living and teaching in Greece in our country guide. Istanbul, the second Rome. Viewed as a bridge between the East and West, Istanbul is the largest city in Europe and an important trade center between the two continents. Paired with competitive salaries, this makes Istanbul a great place for teaching English overseas. Istanbul's old city is filled with exciting historic sites, including the open-air Roman-era Hippodrome and the Egyptian obelisks. The Blue Mosque and the world-famous Hagia Sophia are the two most important landmarks in the city. Learn more about living and teaching in Turkey in our country guide. Moscow, city of the Tsars. Another country stretched between Europe and Asia, Russia offers a huge market for qualified EFL teachers. Moscow is the capital city, the country's commercial hub, and the home of the largest job market for foreign teachers. Although there are a range of potential opportunities, many teachers working in Russia teach English to business professionals. Located on the Moskva River, Moscow is a rising star on the EFL market. The Kremlin makes up the heart of the city and is the home of the president and numerous historic treasures from the era of the Tsars. Just outside the Kremlin lies Red Square, the symbolic center of Russia, where Lenin's mausoleum is located. Get started by taking an in-class TEFL certification course in Moscow and learn more about living and teaching in Russia in our country guide. Are you ready to start a new career teaching English in Europe? Living and working in Europe is the dream of many qualified teachers around the world, and it's not as difficult as many say. These top 10 cities in Europe with the highest demand for English language teachers are a great starting point for your teaching career in Europe. Apply now for your TEFL or TESOL certification course and start teaching in a matter of months. Speak with an ITTT advisor today to put together your personal plan for teaching English abroad. Send us an email or call us toll-free at 1-800-490-0531 to speak with an ITTT advisor today.